See? Pluck.
Con.
Up. It just says up. Okay?
It's Psalm 68 says, Psalm 68 and 17 says, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them in Sinai, in the holy place. Oh, sorry, I was going to ask.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the spirit, because that's why we read to each other. That's what we teach to each other. Because now he knows it and he remembers it, and now he brought it out. Because I was going to get 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17, but this brother brought it out. So that means to tell you what? Like Apostle Tahar always says, we have to be in the same mind, in the same spirit.
So it's the same song.
It's the same song. We can't be singing.
Yeah.
How about these two brothers singing the same song, and I'm like, just going out of tune. They'll be looking at me like, man, you don't know the song, homie?
Like
How long you been singing it? How long you been in the band?
That song all around
They'll be
the
trying to
world
kick me
is the
out.
same song.
And that's why this thing why this thing works, because that's one thing a lot of camps can't get on board with is what direction they're going to. You know, we all have to be on one accord, or it's just not going to work.
We can't be in a violent spirit, because the world is violent right now, and we are not violent because we're supposed to be gentle like doves. Wise as serpents and gentle like doves. Because we're going to get plucked up. Okay? We're going to get plucked up. We're going to get saved. All we have to do is just believe. That's the strongest thing a man could do. Just have faith in his master.
And man, I had and this is early in the truth. This was about last year. I was working at the Central Valley Meats. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
And I was going to be one of their HVAC guys. I quit the job right away, but not right before I told. There's an Issachar that he was my lead, and they were going to train me up to take over his job. He was going to retire or whatever. It was a good job, but they wanted me to be nice. But surprisingly, Issachar is into the chariots and UFOs. So he was telling me like, oh, have you ever heard of the Omnis? And I said, oh yeah, I know exactly what they are. He's like, well, then we just clicked. And he's like, well, yeah, they're Omnis and they're aliens and this, and I'm like, no, they're not aliens. I know what they are, but they're not aliens. He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, those are the angels of the Most High, and they're coming to bring destruction to the world. He's all,
oh shit.
He's like, really? Like I said, yeah. I mean, he's like, he says, is it good? I said, well, it's good. Yeah, it's good for the righteous, but it's bad for if you're wicked.
It's good for him, because you know why?
Yeah.
We lived in a place where we were Aztec and then Mayans. Mayans were we came from the Mayans, and we expanded to the Aztec, and we built temples. We built Chichen Itza, which is the temple of Kukulkan, which is Yahweh coming back in the reincarnation. See, so we knew about that, but we just lost it. And I bet you that brother, he's like, whoa, man. Because he already believes halfway. Oh, and guess what, man? I have a cousin that's on Instagram, and he's putting up pictures of Caesar Borgia talking about, do you know who this is? Waking up. People are waking up. Oh, and what's going to happen is people are going to have to see those chariots and be scared to get woken up.
Brother, too, put a video about the celebrities. You celebrities are waking up, but what you gonna do about it?
Well, you got the resources, you got tons of money. What the hell are you gonna do? How many finish that scripture for you? Yeah. Let me read it again. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
So let me get the definition for clouds. We're gonna be caught up together with them in the clouds. It says. Strong's G3507, used of the cloud which led the Israelites in the wilderness. The cloud that led the Israelites in the wilderness. That was back in Egypt. So like brothers were saying, it's at nighttime it's hella dark. And back in the ancient world there wasn't no light posts. No light posts, no nothing. So you can easily see. You can easily see it.
Yeah. Right now the lights are polluted. You can go outside and look at 100 chariots, but the lights don't let you see and focus them. You get the rest. To meet the Lord in the air, so shall we ever be with Hamashiach Yahushai.
And too, I just remembered, back in the ancient world, we had a greater stature, right? Which means, our body was better. So our eyes were better. So we were
probably see
able to
farther.
see better, you know.
See farther.
Hmm.
Oh, and that's why some people.
Just like they say, you ate a orange or something back in the ancient world that has more vitamins than today. You have to eat like I don't know how many
Like
oranges
20.
to get the same, you know, from back in.
Because
the woods.
I can see pretty far away, but that's nothing to where we can used to see. Because this car, you used to look at the stars and map out what's going to happen for the next planting season. So this is Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so be true.
So he's not going to be coming looking naked, you know, like that.
No, and he's not gonna come as a white
With
hippie
the little wiener, trying to touch your hand.
Yeah. Oh,
Touch me, Shakar.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
he ain't gonna be naked and
Hey.
right?
He's not gonna be a Caesar Borgia white guy with blonde
They
hair.
said, every eye shall see him, and also they which pierced him. All kindreds of the earth shall wail. Even the elect, we're gonna be like, ah, because one chariot is fine, 8 chariots is even fine, but they're far away. I remember that one time I called on the name of the Lord, and the chariots came at me. When they were coming at me to rescue me, I got scared, and I said, okay, I'm sorry. You know, let me finish the race. I got scared when they were coming at me. If they're going somewhere, hey, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but if they're coming at you and they're coming to pluck you,
You don't know if they're coming. You don't know.
you don't know if they're coming to fuck you up.
Right.
You don't know if they're coming to tear
I
up, kill your
remember
family.
one time Apostle Tahar said, when he seen the chariots, he got scared. Like he was like, "Oh shoot, am I doing it? Am I doing
the right
What
thing?
am I supposed to be doing? You know?"
Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
And I think, you know, in preparing for this lesson, or you know, kind of anticipating it, I was kind of thinking like, oh, where am I gonna? You know, I don't per se know exactly where all the scriptures are at for chariots, but it was
We do.
yeah. And it was funny because Tahar right at the end he's like yeah, he started talking about the chariots. And he says, you know, he went into, you know, Revelations has it, Jeremiah has it, the book of Zechariah has it. So I just read all those books, and man, it is something beautiful, you know, how these lessons are just sometimes just handed over to you, you know.
And also, you could go to the Blue Letter Bible and type in the word clouds. It'll give you all the scriptures on clouds.
Okay.
Type in the word hate and give you all the scriptures on hate. It's a learning tool.
Did we get the one with, I believe I have one, where it says to enter into thy chambers? Did we get that scripture yet?
Let me get this one first. Acts 2:37. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their heart, and said unto Peter and the rest of the apostles, Men and brethren, what shall we do? When you see a chariot, you're like, what shall we do? But when we tell you that the people in the chariot are the angels and they're only coming to save the Israelites, that's when the pricking starts and it hurts. And you're like, oh.
Because imagine if we were to tell you.
Yeah.
I gotta kill this nigga because he said that.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were to tell you that you killed the Son of God. That
You would
killed.
feel, if you had any sense, you would feel shame.
You were the one that put him up there on that cross. You
You'd be
know?
like, he deserved it.
You know?
Make up some excuse.
Yeah. You would. I believe we might have got this one, Isaiah 26:20. It says, Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. And that one correlates with the first one I read in Zechariah, which is, that's how the Most High is going to deliver us. And we're going to, you know, and to go into thy chambers, if you look into what chambers is, it's a room. So we're going to go into thy chambers for a little moment while the nuclear missiles blow this place up.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. So this is second book of Esdras 15:44. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. See? So the chariots are going to come to Babylon and destroy her and besiege her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up into heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her.
Because Babylon is that hope.
That's that nasty, filthy water. You see, it's just so It's just so easy that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua had to pick simple men. He didn't pick no all-stars. He didn't pick no state wrestlers or no genetically modified beefcakes.
That's right, because
I mean, look at me, I'm hunched over.
Yeah.
the poor are the ones that teach the truth. You know, you ain't gonna see anybody in the rich houses, you know, teaching the truth.
Let me get this one in. Second Ezra's 15 and 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. Esau, that's you. And the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. And the heat is going to be the thermonuclear devastation. You see, one scripture leads to another. It says the sword. And we can also go to the sword because the sword is also the chariots. It also, the sword is Esau, the sword is the chariot, the sword is the actual sword, the sword is the Bible too.
Come on. And if you hear all the testimonies and accounts of brothers that seen them, or I believe in the scriptures as well, these chariots, they're possibly made out of gold, out of silver, all these precious, because think about it, I mean, just in the world, Jake, and I was paying attention to that, Jake likes to stunt, dude. Like, Jake, you know, he'll pull up in a purple Benz or something, you know, they're not going to be no ordinary tin aluminum tin things. They're going to be these decked out, straight up Pitmobiles, bro.
That's why, and that's why that native, that Gadite in that souped up bike comes up with the stereo bumping all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
Because we like to have our shit souped up.
It's your car. I mean, look at the lowriders. You know?
I mean, my car is color silver, and I picked it because of that. Because it's silver like the chariots. I was like, man, this is stunning. And I just saw it, and I didn't even look inside, and I was like, damn, that's a dark color, and I picked it because of that. But it worked out, you know.
It's the same thing in regards to my truck, like my car or whatever. I was already off
the other day, the chariots are a blessing.
Yeah, that's something that the tribes is just, it's in us to.
Because you take your vehicle to go do HVAC jobs or cut hair on the side. That's your shit. That's your support system. Yeah. Oh, and check this out, Matthew 10 and 34. Think not, this is all read, but this is Yahushua's words. Think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And that sword is those chariots and also Esau. He sent Esau too.
Right.
It's just so hard for me to understand. How come you guys don't get it? But it's easy because if everybody got it, then everybody would be the elect. That's why there's only 144,000. And that's special just to even know it. To even know that this sort of thing is existing.
Yeah, and to be able to believe that we believe, we absolutely know, like, at the end of the day, we have no fear, you know, we have no fear because at the end of the day, Esau, some of us are going to die as martyrs in the truth, but, you know, if we stay,
we're just read right now.
If we stay,
right now, even the dead in your house shall come back.
If we stay grounded in this truth, we really have no worries, you know. Just look at the power that our God has. It's nothing compared to what this Edomite has, and that's why and that's why these damn devils are you know, they're trying to get their plan rolling because they know that it's their last call. You know, it's the last call for alcohol for them because their kingdom is about to get stripped away.
And you can see that on YouTube's and all those media channels because Karen is getting upset. She's like, this motherfucker, my partner Esau, the man, he ain't even doing shit. So I'm gonna yell at these fucking people and get slapped and this and that. There's a lot of videos of that going around.
Man, the Apostle Ramallah yesterday was, man, he was going in hard on Esau, and every single time he was gonna get that key cut, you know, man, they'd bug out the freaking, they'd bug out the feed. And I was like, these freaking devils.
Because he doesn't want to hear it.
It's like, oh, he's about to come out. Like, put more bugs on it, more viruses, or this shit wigs out, you know, because the thing's coming out too strong. And he even says it in the things I see, it's too much heat for these devils. And then at that moment, I was like, I'm gonna start recording this so I can have this, and I recorded it while it was live streaming.
Oh, after you told me that cop ran?
Yeah. And then my phone started bugging out. It turned off 3 or 4 times. And mind you, it's a brand new phone. This is the phone I got. It's a brand new phone.
What is that, S10?
It's an 11.
Oh, sweet.
And this is brand new, dude. And it was full of battery. So I'm like,
And that's supposed to last like 5-6 hours, though.
yeah, no, she's supposed to like, this one lasts a good time, like a day or two.
Oh, mine doesn't last that long.
Right? Well, that scripture, Satan runs to and fro, right?
Yeah.
There
Yes,
ain't
sir.
nowhere that Satan can't get in. There ain't nowhere he ain't gonna try to find you.
And
But at the same time, that's the same way with the chariots. They'll always find us. They'll always find us.
Well, surrounded. There's a scripture that says surrounded by chariots.
Boom.
I think I had it, but I'll get it later. Let me get this one. Revelation 4:1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. So there's a door in heaven. So what does that mean? You know, that means that you could go up there inside. It says, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me. See, that's that trumpet of the harp, the harpers, the harpers harping, you know, singing you that song, because it says, which said, come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. See, so he's saying to come up where that door's at. You know, that the door is open, and to go up there, and it's going to show you what's going to happen after. Just like the brother said, when we go up in those chariots, we're going to see out the windows, seeing America be on fire, because it's going to be called the lake of fire.
So since you said that, let me get this for you. Hosea 8:1. Set the trumpet to my mouth, he shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord. Now, so if his door is in heaven, he would have to come up as an eagle, because the eagle has to fly. Also, the eagle has the power to go as high as, it's supposed to be high as any bird, right? And and what's the highest thing is the heavens. He shall come as an eagle against the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law.
And that's what you see on the back of the quarter for his own.
And the dollar bill.
And the pyramids.
And the fucking, when we go preach and prophesy at the Civic, there's that big ass fucking eagle on the fucking Veterans Building.
Oh yeah, that's all Masonic, Freemason.
We're surrounded by wickedness, and even though we're surrounded by wickedness, you brothers might not get it, but we're in fucking danger when we go out there, putting our lives and prophesying and shit like that. We're already putting ourselves in danger. So when your brothers out there are yelling at Esau and pointing your fingers at him and making him itch for his gun, you're already in fucking enough danger as it is.
Come on.
Putting yourself in danger if you're not putting yourself in this truth.
Yeah, we're putting ourselves in the oven, but the angels are protecting us, and if we step out of line, they'll let us get burnt.
Yeah.
They'll let us get burned. Just that simple.
Because either the Most High is chastising you for something you did wrong, or he's trying to build you up, you know. So either way, you can't.
Let me get this. Revelation 4:1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the spirit. That's what reminded me when this brother said, my spirit's hot right now, because he said he's seen chariots, you know. So it said, immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. See, so he's looking at it. He's looking at this chariot. And he sat, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. Just like how the brother was saying, there's different colors.
Yeah,
you
like
know, when you look at that chariot.
I just thought it was so sure.
Because the brother put it was a barrel green chariot in the sky. You know, the color of the Lord's garment.
That's beautiful.
I was gonna post it. I was gonna put it up. It just flew. It was tired. because it said right here, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald.
Yeah, so let me get this because, yeah, we're talking about angels and chariots. But guess who's also in these chariots? This is Job 1 and 6. Now there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Ooh, we're still on chariots, right?
Yeah.
Check this scripture out. And this is one, because I had a whole other page, but I lost it. But Psalms 104 and 3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who makes the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Man, that's crazy, because I seen a video of that same thing, like, Esau or somebody was on a cruise taking a video, and you see the chariot drop in the lights, dude.
I already had that spirit.
Oh man,
See, that's the spirit, because it's not about, I had that first.
Yeah.
No, and you can use it. Man, how many times do we read scriptures at camp? Like 20 times each. That's how you're supposed to do it.
There's another one that man is beautiful. I'm not gonna dwell on it.
Bring it.
No, I lost it, but it's one that says about the angel that came down from a cloud with the little book.
Oh.
That one was deep. I don't know if you know it, but man, if you can get that one, that'd be beautiful. Because I think that one goes into the chariot too.
Had a little book in his hand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It talks about
eat this book.
Yeah, I think it references the clouds or something in there. But man, so what we're trying to get at is saying that, these chariots, man, we're well aware of them. We know that they are our salvation. We know that those are the angels protecting us. And at any given moment, Esau better be scared.
Ezekiel 3.
Oh, Ezekiel. Because in Revelation, like every other chapter, is about an angel coming down and doing something.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Ezekiel what? There's a bunch of angels.
Jeremiah 15 and 16.
Because I was looking in everything in their Revelation. It's pretty much talking about when the angels come down.
Revelation 10 and 9.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one. This is Revelation 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel, and he said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Well, that's good, because you know why? Because these scriptures go in sweet, but then when you see them play out, it's kind of bitter, isn't it? Like, man, that motherfucker got killed, and there must be judgment. You see people get killed in all kinds of different ways, and that's a judgment.
Go on.
You got scripture before that one?
Okay.
Verse 8 might say something on
Okay. Let me start at 7. Revelation 10 and 7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yahweh should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants and prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand upon the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth.
So it said, the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me.
There it is. You see, everything comes from the clouds anyways. Oh, and let me get you this one too. Revelation 14 and 14. Well, let me get 13 then. You read it. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. That's a type of sword.
He's sitting on the white cloud, right?
Power.
And so if you were trying to sit on a cloud right now, you'd fall through a cloud. You know?
Right.
And don't be simple and say, oh, Goku sat on a cloud. That was a cartoon. That's where they got it from, though. The scriptures.
Man, I don't know if you guys seen that video with it was a NASA video where it's like planet Earth and you see this big old thing.
Oh,
So a chariot is actually could be bigger than this whole planet. And
Because they had that video about showing that chariot was.
and it was like a
3 times
wheel.
bigger.
There was like a wheel in it or something. That was a trip, man.
Yeah. We're still on chariots, so check this out. Second book of Maccabees 5:1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt, and then it happened that throughout all the city, for the space of almost 40 days, there were 7 horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers.
Horsemen in the air?
Horsemen in the air? Horsemen in the air. Go ahead and explain that one.
Because I think there was a couple videos, they're probably fake, but there was like a horse in the air or something, you know, like a literal horse in the air, but there ain't gonna be no horses flying, you know, there ain't gonna be no, like that
unicorns,
movie,
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be nothing like that.
Also, Esau has this thing called Project Bluebeam, where he can project any image he wants in the skies, in the heavens. Well, and that's why Yahushua was saying, don't be deceived, don't be deceived. Many are going to say, here comes Yahushua, here comes the Savior, here comes this, here comes that, Lord. But we know when the skies are full of chariots from the east to the west, that's when the Son of Man is going to come back. We got to have that. Everybody's got to have to be faced with the choice of taking the chip. Or be outcast, or get killed. And troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harness of all sorts, wherefore every man prayed that the operation might turn to good. Those were chariots doing their shows.
Let me get this with going back to whirlwinds, because we're talking about whirlwinds. 2 Kings 2:1, and it came to pass when Yahweh Shem Yahushai would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind. See, gonna take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind. You know, sometimes when you look at when there's like a tornado in the water, that's like a whirlwind, you know, and that's like a funnel, you know.
Yeah.
It's like funneling you up, you know.
Plugging you up.
And then it goes on more. Let me get that into. Right here, so like this is Job 38:1. Then Yahweh Shem Yahushai answered Job out of the whirlwind. See, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he answered Job out of the whirlwind. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So let me get this back to you real quick. This is first book of Maccabees, chapter 4 and 10. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, and peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day, that so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
And so Israel knows that those UFOs, those chariots are our salvation, you know. 2 Kings 2:9, and it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. See, so Elijah knew that he was about to be taken away. He knew that he was going to be saved. You know?
That's crazy, huh? Because, man, how are we gonna know that?
Man, imagine if you were about to be saved and before you were.
Hey, I'm
about
on in California. I'm about to be beaten up. Is there anything?
Yeah, man.
I'd be freaking out, to tell you the truth. Like, gosh, I wouldn't be able to handle it. what if you were to do it? What if you'd be freaking out? Oh, man, I'm gonna leave my family behind. But you know, the prophets were already aware.
But this is what Elisha wanted from Elijah. He said, and Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. See, so double portion meaning he wanted to know what Elijah know. You know, that way Elisha could be saved also.
I just got something in the spirit too, and you guys, brothers, feel free to input because it might be off on this one, but Revelations 11, it's a few verses. I'm gonna start at Revelations 11:7, and I believe this is talking about the elect. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and the tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put to graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them to make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. That's these other nations, because they're thinking that we got taken out, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to the heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So that's beautiful right there, because that's depicting our salvation, right? And the destruction of this place, because at 7 it says that the beast shall come out of the bottomless pit, and that's talking about 11, right?
Yeah.
11:7. And that one was just in the spirit, but because I knew it said something about ascend, and I believe that's in reference to us, that we're gonna get beamed up, you know, in that day. And Slovakia.
And too, you go on to verse 10.
Mm-hmm. Verse 10, and it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall.
You got it. Oh, okay. You read it again. We have to read
Well,
it
it goes
again.
10, 11, and 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, you already said 12, huh? Oh, so
Yeah, you got it.
That's fine.
But see, that's what happens, because we're all on the same spirit.
But you read 10 already?
No, I'll read it again.
Oh.
Revelation 11:10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets